This is showing just how bad it's really getting. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, now in this video, I do have multiple different reports that I want to share with you that just recently hit the wire, so let's get into it and discuss these one at a time. First off, a new report that was just released is showing 35% of small businesses either were not able to pay their rent or were not able to pay their full rent this past month. The report also goes on to show that 48% of small businesses reported that their rent actually went up this past month as well, and 63% of small businesses that are involved in some type of transportation or delivery services, as in driving around in a vehicle, showed negative impact to their business this past month because of rapidly rising gas prices. Well, as you can see from this report, small businesses are really having a hard time right now. As you've probably heard from some of the sayings out there, small businesses are the backbone of America. That is so true. There are tens of millions of small businesses, and they employ a huge portion of the population and the workforce in the United States. In other words, if small businesses go down, it is not going to be a pretty picture going forward. So we got to continue monitoring this going forward to see, are small businesses going to continue struggling going forward with this rapidly rising inflation and, of course, with high gas prices, or is this just a one-off month type of situation, or what is going forward? But I would anticipate nothing really has changed here. What has gone on last month is nothing changing here in this month. So I would anticipate it's probably going to be more of the same going forward. And again, not a pretty picture. However, I'll continue to monitor that and watch it closely, and of course, bring you the updates as I do get more details. Next, I do want to share another report with you. Since we were just talking about gas prices, let's quickly talk about this. A new report is now coming out saying they're suggesting worst case scenario, we could potentially be looking at $380 per barrel of oil. As of right now, to put it into perspective, oil is sitting at about $110 per barrel right now, and gas is sitting just below $5 a gallon for the national average. Well, if we go up to $380 a barrel in the worst case scenario, this would inflate gas prices to about $20 to $25, possibly even more dollars per gallon. How many people are going to be driving those days if gas is at $20 or $25 a gallon? Probably nobody. You're probably going to see a whole bunch of bikes on the road, or people are just going to say, why would I go to work and work for $20 an hour when I'm going to be burning up all my gas and virtually working for free? It wouldn't make any sense, right? So anyway, this is just a report that's out there right now saying in the worst case scenario, we could potentially be seeing $380 per barrel oil. That'd be nuts, right? Let's just hope that doesn't happen. But again, with everything going on right now, gas prices are just leveling out as of right now. They haven't been creeping higher as we've been seeing for so long now. They've been leveled out for about a week and a half or so now. We'll have to see what happens here after the official driving season at the holiday kind of kicks off and the summer's in full swing here when a lot of people are out driving around and traveling. It'll be interesting to watch how this whole thing plays out. But again, gas prices are still very inflated as of right now, just below $5 a gallon. Next, since we were also talking about small businesses not being able to pay their rent, let's quickly talk about something else when it comes to residential, as in us, the people, and rents when it comes down to like our homes. Well, another new report out there right now is suggesting we could be seeing a massive wave of evictions coming in across the entire United States. They're actually projecting 10 million evictions here relatively soon within the next few months. That's scary to think about. Now, across the entire country, for the most part, I have not been able to see any states or areas around the entire country that still have eviction moratoriums put in place. Remember that here over the last couple of years here? We've had all these different eviction moratoriums. Well, for the most part, from what I can see, I don't see any eviction moratoriums put in place. The last one, what it looked like, was in California, and it looks like that just expired just a short time ago. So as far as from what I can see, I'm not seeing any rental eviction moratoriums across the entire country. So that's kind of a scary statistic, right? Especially right now with everything else going on. Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't being able to pay the utilities, the bills, the rent, things like this. And of course, just like mortgages and foreclosures also ticking up here, we're also seeing potentially massive waves of evictions coming through as well. Let's just hope that's not the case, because that is a really sad situation. But these are just some of the reports that are out there right now. So Of course, I like to watch all this stuff and keep you posted on it. Next, let me give you the latest details on where lawmakers are currently sitting with this next reconciliation bill. Now, this report was actually published yesterday, just to be totally fair with you. This one was released yesterday, but I still want to give you the details on this. So remember here, I talked about it, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5 days ago, something like that. Apparently, Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin have been talking behind closed doors and working out the details of the next reconciliation bill. Now, this is something that they want to get passed here by the end of this month. I'm going to go ahead and say good luck, guys. Basically, at the pace that these people work, I'm going to go ahead and give them a big good luck to try to get this package passed by the end of this month. But you never know. It could happen. But the details on this, apparently they're working through the finishing touches on this last bill here, and they want to get it passed within the next 3 to 4 weeks or so by the end of this month, provided they get all the details to the Senate parliamentarian here very, very soon. So again, this is being crafted by these two guys, as in Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Senate on the Democratic side, and then, of course, Joe Manchin, who is one of the moderate Democrats in the Senate. Now, next hurdle that they have in front of them, and this is what the report also pointed out, is Kyrsten Sinema. Now, again, she is one of the moderate Democrats, and again, they'll need to get her approval because they will need all 50 votes in the Senate on the Democratic side, including Bernie Sanders, the independent, in order to get this through, assuming that 0 Republicans would vote for it. That's the assumption, of course, why they would go with the reconciliation bill at this point, because they just want to make it easy, and they want to get the 50 votes and get it done. And, of course, they have to make sure that it is going to be approved by Joe Manchin and, of course, Kyrsten Sinema to get their votes on this thing going forward. So we'll have to see what this actually moves forward with. But at the latest details on this, like I said, the report that was released yesterday is actually suggesting that they're working forward with the final touches on this bill, and it might actually get passed here within the next few weeks. But again, a big maybe on that one. I'm not going to say that it's going to get passed for sure at all, because I have no clue, and every time that they give a deadline or put a line in the sand, usually they just pass right on by it as if it was not even there, and then everything gets delayed. So, of course, I'll keep you posted on that. Next, I also want to talk about, I actually mentioned this in a video yesterday as well, and this is kind of nuts, but I want to share with this to you just in case you didn't hear it in the video yesterday, because I think it was kind of interesting. Apparently, there are huge swarms of crickets that are eating up crops in the western states. In fact, I just read a report today that said in Oregon alone, 10 million acres of cropland, as in whatever types of crops they have over there. I'm not sure if it's corn or whatever, soybeans. I'm not really sure what they're growing over there. It just said crops. Apparently 10 million acres of crops have been completely decimated by these big flocks of crickets. Crazy, right? Like I say in my videos, just when you thought you've heard it all, then you hear about a flock, or it's more of a swarm. It's not a flock, sorry. Clearly, I don't know my insect terminology, right? But the fact of the matter is, a swarm of crickets is taking down these crop fields. It's kind of a sad situation, especially right now when we are seeing all these other reports out there right now suggesting we're going to be seeing food shortages and all kinds of different things because we don't simply have the crops. The last thing we need right now is a bunch of crickets eating all the food, right? So maybe they should unleash, I don't know, a big pod. What's a big thing of like frogs called? I don't know. What eats crickets? I think frogs eat them, right? Something like that. So anyway, maybe they need to unleash a whole big flock of frogs to go out and eat all these crickets or something. I don't really know. Just saying. My point is, it's kind of weird stuff, right? I mean, seriously, could you imagine all these crickets jumping around or whatever? I mean, how do they kind of watch this stuff? I mean, do they see them? Are these like the flying type of crickets? Like, what are they? I don't really know. Anyway, kind of interesting report that's going on, but these are some of the things that are happening right now. I'd like to keep you posted with this, what is actually going on all around the country, because at the end of the day, this is all going to impact us in some way, shape, or form. Like I said earlier, if small businesses go down, that's not going to be a good sign at all. That is going to be a very, very bad sign for the United States alone if small businesses get crushed because of high inflation, high gas prices, and of course not being able to pay their rents because expenses continue to rise, right? Labor expenses continue to rise, rents continue to rise, utilities continue to rise, all kinds of things continue to rise. As a result of that, they're not able to pay the bills. Not a good sign, because the small businesses employ tens of millions of workers right here in the United States. And if that many people all of a sudden lose their jobs or all of these jobs start to be lost here, again, not a good sign going forward, right? So, and when it comes down to the housing market and things like this with evictions and foreclosures hitting the market left and right, again, it's just showing that people simply do not have the money to cover all of these different things. They continue to increase in price, and therefore, people are starting to lose different things, right? So, not a good sign and not very good at all. It's a really sad situation, but this is the reality of what I'm finding out there, and I want to keep you posted with this because we need to keep a pulse on what is actually going on, because this probably will impact us in some degree. Anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. I'm here to help you out in any way that I can, as well as keep you updated with everything going on, just like what we talked about right here in the video. So again, go back and check out some of those other thousands of videos here on the channel. There's a lot out there, and of course, as I do get more details on anything going on, I'll be right back here for you, breaking it all down, keeping you updated, and of course, pointing out anything that you can possibly grab right now, like money, benefits, checks, stimulus, programs, or anything else that may be popping up. Of course, I want to make sure that you are aware of it, and I'll point that out to you in these videos. So again, enjoy your day, subscribe down below, and go back and check out some of those other videos. Until next time, have a nice one, enjoy, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.